while Kevin Rudd was crowning his political career.
To unite and write a new page in our nation's history.
Today we honour the Indigenous peoples of this land, the oldest continuing cultures in human history. We reflect on their past mistreatment. We reflect in particular on the mistreatment of those who were stolen generations, this blemished chapter in our national history. The time has now come for the nation to turn a new page in Australia's history by righting the wrongs of the past and so moving forward with confidence to the future. We apologise for the laws and policies of successive parliaments and governments that have inflicted profound grief, suffering and loss on these our fellow Australians. We apologise especially for the removal of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children from their families, their communities. To the stolen generations, I say the following. As Prime Minister of Australia, I am sorry. On behalf of the Government of Australia, I am sorry. On behalf of the Parliament of Australia, I am sorry. And I offer you this apology without qualification. We apologise for the hurt, the pain and suffering we, the Parliament, have caused you by the laws that previous parliaments have enacted. We apologise for the indignity, the degradation and the humiliation these laws embodied. We offer this apology to the mothers, the fathers, the brothers, the sisters, the families and the communities whose lives were ripped apart by the actions of successive governments under successive parliaments. So let us turn this page together. Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians, government and opposition, Commonwealth and state, and write this new chapter in our nation's story together.
That's the challenge of your generation. And I would say to each and every one of you, the way to do that is to be engaged, be in the arena. You're familiar with the concluding speech of Teddy Roosevelt when he decided to leave politics and said, there is nothing better than being in the arena of change. There'll be 1,000 people watching you to see if you fail and hoping that you will fail. But if you're the one who's prepared to obtain the dirt and the muck and the dust and the blood and the sweat and the tears of someone who is in the arena of constructive change in the name of the sustaining of global peace, the sustaining of global prosperity, the sustaining of the global project through the sustenance of the global rules-based system, my friends, it's worth fighting for. I thank you for your time. Why do you have to be a change agent only in politics? Whereas in fact, those of you in technology and commerce, in non-government organisations across the world, you can be vast.
The new leader of the Federal Parliamentary Labor Party, elected unopposed, is Julia Gillard.
And I am truly honoured to lead this country, which I love.
What a moment in Australian political history. The first female Prime Minister.
Julia Gillard certainly made history when Kevin Rudd was ousted from the top job.
I asked my colleagues to make a leadership change. A change because I believed that a good government was losing its way.
It all happened at breakneck speed behind closed doors, instigated by right-wing power brokers who'd had enough of what they called Kevin Rudd's chaotic leadership. It was over before he knew it, the reasoning never fully explained to voters.
I was not elected by the factional leaders of Australia, of the Australian Labor Party, to do a job.
And in so doing, I say to the Leader of the Opposition, I will not be lectured about sexism and misogyny by this man. I will not. And the government will not be lectured about sexism and misogyny by this man. Not now, not ever.
This morning, the Prime Minister told Parliament she was governing for all Australians.
That as Prime Minister, I am getting on with the job, and that is what the government is doing.
This evening, Julia Gillard was out of a job. Her colleagues in the Labour Party voting to replace her in favour of this man, her long-time nemesis, Kevin Rudd.
I can announce the result. It is Kevin Rudd, 57 votes, Julia Gillard, 45 votes.
The press seems stunned. A few minutes later, Ms Gillard appeared, ashen-faced and flanked by downcast supporters. It was time for the nation's first female Prime Minister to bid farewell.
As you would probably be aware by now, Kevin Rudd has been elected as leader of the Federal Parliamentary Labor Party. I congratulate Mr Rudd.
After just 3 years in the top job, the Prime Minister has become the former Prime Minister. And Kevin Rudd, the man she had replaced, is being returned to power in Australia.